everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Houston Oilers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Houston Oilers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game, there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Josh Lambo now ready to put this one in the air. Get strapped in. It's just about time to get the party started. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading the charge will be their quarterback. Always fun to watch, Deshaun Watson.
Had a chance to meet him while he was still at Clemson at a summer camp, partner. And this is one of the best kids you're going to meet out there. And he doesn't say a whole lot, but it's fun to watch how people respond to him. When he was a camp counselor, the kids just flocked around him like the Pied Piper, just as his teammates did while he was at Clemson.
Now they try the right side here. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. And let's look here at the Houston offense.
DeAndre Hopkins was named All-Pro for the first time in 2017. And really don't have to do much but look at the statistics to know why. 4 touchdown grabs in 2016, jumped that up to 13 in 2017. That led all NFL receivers. Also added in 96 catches and close to 1,400 yards. DeAndre Hopkins' ability to get free in the secondary is a marvel, mainly because of head fakes and body control.
And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Back 22! Back 22!
Here's Watson. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
Let's take it to the 25. Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section, where the columnists write possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
Now let's go!
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future All-Pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And this results in 6. Touchdown. That's a tough spot as a quarterback, Charles. You want to get rid of it, but you see what can happen when you do try to get rid of it with pressure.
Yeah, and how about the pressure coming without them having to blitz? That's when you know things are clicking for your defense, and the end result, they end up gaining 6 points.
Point after here coming up. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This is taken at his 4. So out now comes the offense back onto the field.
Hurry up, here we go.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Hurry up, here we go.
And they'll run it here. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but eventually they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Third down. That's Bowen. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So they bring out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now Watson going right side here, and that's complete. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. From the 50, it's Watson. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Watson. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
The Texans send the punter out. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And now back out comes the offense. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
Now a handoff looking right. Shreds the tackle. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 13 and also a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Set, 3-19.
Now they try the right side here. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle.
Now let's go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to bring up a third down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot defensively. How do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They'll look to throw. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And on the ground they go with a running back. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And this offense on third down today, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
This will be their first trip to the red zone. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16.
All right, here we go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it's caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Allen Robinson, a 16-yard touchdown. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
This has to be great for the psyche of this offense. Presented with bad field position, they didn't let it stop them. They rolled downfield and scored a touchdown.
Josh Lambo now for the point after. Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And we are tied at 7. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And the result, a Houston touchdown. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Now, it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves them with 7 yards to go on third down.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
So 1 quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. 7-all is the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
They'll need to convert a 3rd and 7, though, to start things out. A shotgun snap for Watson. Steps, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he fields it cleanly. Nifty footwork at the 45. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Back to throw now on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Big Leonard Williams there on the stop.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Hurry up, here we go!
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And incomplete here on third down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about him.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. He's going to loft one deep. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Now this offense about ready to take over again. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
The offense on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
All right, here we go.
Now back to throw. Staying on his feet. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. Leonard Williams in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
And they'll send out their punter now. Standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Still second down.
They were looking good on second down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8.
Back 22.
From the gun, here's Watson. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now it's Watson, a bootleg, and a diving grab. I think he got that, yes. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a 1st down.
1st down saves him from a 3 and out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Down. Green the line. Green the line.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, hey, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And look at this. It's a fake. And this is caught. And a fake will work. He's going to have a 1st down. So they get the 1st down. Maybe not a huge play in terms of yardage, but the fake punt does the job.
Okay, that was a fake punt, and it was successful throwing the football. I know you threw the football in your past off of a fake.
Yeah, but unsuccessful back in my high school days. Old Tim Jones dropped it, hit him right in the numbers. But I'll tell you what, these guys, they love this opportunity, don't they? A chance to get involved.
They certainly do, and many of them were quarterbacks or big-time players when they were in high school and college. So to get back doing what they did before, always fun.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Green the line. Green the line.
On 1st and 10, Watson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets it down to the 32. Remind You that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. From the gun, Watson. Forced out to his left. And some space here. And avoids the contact by sliding. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Letting one go deep for the end. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Texans are in for 6. And a great example there of just getting the feet in a tough spot. It seems like every year these guys get better at this.
Well, I think the drills get better that they work on, training camp, off-season work, OTAs. But also a lot of these guys have dance backgrounds, ballet backgrounds, and they take that and carry it over to the football field.
So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 14-10. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Hurry up, here we go. Leopard.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. And they'll go on the ground. And he stopped immediately there. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. They're going to look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
And here comes the Texans now. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked by Kevin Byard. And a potential turning point as they get the football in very good field position late in this first half. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
And here now the offense heading back out there. And this is a spot late in the clock near midfield, though. Maybe take a couple chances, see if you get in field goal range.
You do that if you have trust. And this should be a position now where the great ones, they relish this opportunity.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
Gun! Now let's go! Blue line!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And he lost the football, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. This offense so far on third down, they've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 8.
Here we go now!
They'll drop to throw. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down.
Over! Here we go now! Green!
They'll throw now on the final play. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend, as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll start up at TIAA Stadium in Jacksonville. And those two are tied up as they play the second quarter. Next, we head off to check out another game. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Tampa Bay Bucks. The Falcons playing well in their opener, trying to send their sellout crowd home happy. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And it's the visiting LA Chargers who are out in front. The Chargers looking for the win on the road in Week 1. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to have a third down.
When Leonard Williams was picked in the 2015 NFL Draft, I compared him to Merlin Olsen, and I got a lot of grief about it. Did you just see that play there? Did you see how he made that move and made that tackle? That was Merlin Olsen-esque there.
I just perked up when you said Merlin Olsen.
Yeah, a lot of people say, hey, that's too much, too far, and maybe it is early, but I think this guy has a chance of fulfilling that.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Fielded at the 20. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Faking the give. Now Watson. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Here's Watson operating from the gun. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Texans send the punter out. On presumably to punt, though he did complete a pass earlier. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now let's go.
They'll set up a throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's James. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
On third down, it's Bowen. They had a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Give them a couple on the run as it brings up a fourth down. And they bring their punter out there now, standing just outside his own goal line. And taken right on the 30. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Now a play fake here on first down. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. To throw is Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Operating from the gun, Watson. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
And now back out comes the offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll run it now out of the gun. A swift move and then tackled just on the other side of midfield. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And this offense on 3rd down today, they're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Green 39! Green 39! Hot!
And they'll run it here. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Each team has its own terminology. Some people call it jumbo, some call it monster, some call it king. But it doesn't really matter. They brought in the big lumber to pick up that first down.
Yeah, you think about goal line defense with the goal line offense that time getting it done. Back to throw here. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Looking to throw. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that is gonna be pulled in one-handed. Wow. It's a big play there on 3rd down. And even 40 yards.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
All right, here we go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. He'll drop to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down.
Pass interference. Defense.
And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
First and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
They come out here in the eye. A carry here for the big tight end. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up second and goal.
Brandon, if I wanted to run the football this close to the goal line, I think I just turn around and hand it to my tailback. Too many things could go wrong in this situation. I think they're fortunate just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Back now here on EA Sports as we are set to bring you the home stretch here, the fourth quarter. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll try to run with Neal. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And his guys have taken the lead here in the fourth. Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And it's now 17-14. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
On first down, Watson. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 48, and the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to the 36. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
On 3rd down, it's Neal, and he'll be taken down at the 34. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now, because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Agreed, that's twice now in this fourth quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
Now this offense about ready to take over again. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. He'll look to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. They wound up getting nothing out of that 2nd down completion, so now here's 3rd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
They'll look to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards, and they're going to face a 3rd down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They'll look to throw here. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. This quarterback now A perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Cam's going to run the option right. And a short gain down to about the 33. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. Lambeau will put this one through, and that will make this a 9-point lead. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Wide open receiver complete. That one goes for 24 yards. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
On 1st down, it's Watson. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Time for a break. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 3rd and long. It's Watson. Now a desperation throw. And that's caught inside the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd. Now Watson. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing it.
They'll start on the ground with Neal. And a little spin cycle. Room to run now. And he's brought down after a good gain. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as it comes with 1:25 left to go in the contest. Again, they run with Neal. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Here we go now.
This is Neal. Inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1.
I do get a kick out of seeing a team kneel down at the end of the game in victory formation and wrap one up, because most of the time a kneel down is not a good thing in football. In this case, it's the best thing for the team that's winning.
Best thing Week 1 and 1-0 after going down to that knee. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, Week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season, we get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for the home team here, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Arizona Cardinals next week. Meanwhile, for Houston, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll be off to Oakland next week for a date with the Raiders. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say so long, everybody.